Summary of Daf Samachalef. This is the Maimah Vayihi beshalach in Torah Ohr. So the pasuk says that Vayihi beshalach Paroh, when Parah sent out the people, v'lo nacham Elokim derech eretz Plishtim, Hashem didn't lead them through the land of the Plishtim because it was closed, and therefore they could easily go back to Egypt. Instead, Hashem led them around through past the Yam Suf and then through the desert. So now the Jewish people in Galus are planted in the earth. The pasuk describes them as being planted, and the purpose of planting is always in order to grow more than what you planted, of course. So the Jewish people are planted in the Galus in order to bring spiritual benefits, and that's the meaning of what we say in it's a pasuk, and we say it in davening as well. Baruch Hashem Elokei Yisrael min ha'olam v'ad ha'olam. Blessed is Hashem, the God of Israel, min ha'olam v'ad ha'olam, from world to world. The reason Hashem is called Elokei Yisrael, the God of Israel, is because through the Jewish people being planted in Galus, so that causes Hashem's presence to be more revealed. And that's the growth and benefit. And it's min ha'olam v'ad ha'olam, from Alma Discassia, the world, the concealed world, where the Hashem is more revealed. It's concealed to us. In other words, it's beyond us, but Hashem is more revealed there. Ad olam, until bringing that greater godliness into Ad olam, to our world, to the revealed world, which is within our where we are what we are aware of. So the purpose of this is to cause that the same bittul that the high worlds have to Hashem should also be in the low worlds. And ultimately, with Moshiach, that I am by Nero, that we'll see Hashem eye to eye. Now, when we plant a seed, so what happens is that the seed is covered in earth, and then it dissolves, so that when you dig underneath, you can't see the seed there anymore. And then from that comes the growth. So, and the same thing is with the Jewish people, as we'll explain soon. Now, the growth is actually giving something, adding something which is beyond what we would have for ourselves, because we come from tikkun. In other words, our neshama is clearly godly, and therefore that comes from the sort of the organized path, Hishtalshelus, step-by-step godliness. Whereas what we're trying to refine is what fell down through Mesiras Nefesh. In other words, it comes from the world of Tohu. It's the godliness which is beyond, although it ended up in the physical world, because the light of Tohu was too powerful for the Kalim, as we've explained in previous Maimarim, and therefore fell down into this world. Now, there are two modes which we can use to connect Hashem. So one is that we connect according to what we contribute. In other words, we do mitzvos and we connect Hashem that way. The other way is a makif. It's not based on what we do. It's just Hashem beyond. He can give even if we don't deserve. Now, on one hand, when we connect through mitzvahs, it's more bepnimis, it's more internalized. On the other hand, when we connect just because, so in a way that's higher, because we're not connecting based on our limited action, but just because. And Hashem gives based on his capacity, which is unlimited. The nations, and this is also true in the early history of the world, from Adam to Noach and Noach to Avram, so they received from this makiv level, whereas we receive from within Rotzen, and that's why Yaakov is called small, because he receives only according to what he achieves and what he deserves. But ultimately, with the Moshiach, there'll be a Giliu Elokus, revelation of godliness, and this will be based on our achievements, based on our Veda. Now, So when we're involved in our business and our work, our regular life, and we do it in a kosher way, so our business is totally honest and with keeping all the mitzvahs that are associated. And more generally, we use physical items for mitzvahs. The mitzvahs are made up of physical items. So what we're doing there is taking Kelipah, which normally covers over godliness, and revealing that inner godly shell with the inner godliness within the shell of Kelipah. This is like Rivka giving the clothes of Esav to Yaakov. So Esav is the world of Tohu, which then shattered and fell into Kelipah, and then Yaakov refines it through his mitzvahs. And then when this transformation brings great simcha, and what was until now Kelipah, now we're revealing, and it's in a godly core and connecting it to Hashem. So this transformation, like the Baal Tshuva, the advantage of the Baal Tshuva over the Tzaddik happens when we transform the physical to holy. So now, we said before that in order for the seed to grow, it has to first dissolve and rot and turn into nothing. So this represents the Leib nishba, a broken heart that is needed in order to subdue Sitra Achra. And to realize that our neshama has come down from a very high spiritual source into this lowly world. And that will cause us to feel bitter and solemn. And this is the meaning of that. Before we daven, we have to enter davening with the seriousness, the heaviness, that we should feel bad for our neshama, that it's been sent so far down and stuck in this materialism. And because it's difficult to immediately move from this bitterness to simcha, so therefore, tikkun chatzos, so nowadays more commonly, Krishma Shalom Mitzah is the time for this, so that then when we daven the next day, the focus can be simcha. We've already had our meriras, our bitterness, and feeling compassion for our neshama the night before. Now, simcha has to be so simcha, there's different ways. There's just the happiness without any disturbance, or happiness that comes after darkness. And happiness that comes after darkness is more powerful. So Rabbi Akiva said that when he saw this great city of a Roman city, he said, look, if this is what the over are receiving, those who go against Hashem's will, then how much more so those who keep Hashem's will? And what he meant in a deeper way is that, like we said before, that those who Kelipah can receive from Hashem in a way of makif, but if that's what they get in a way of makif, we who come through mitzvahs and in an internalized way based on what we deserve is certainly a deeper connection. When Moshiach comes, we'll be able to have this full simcha, because the revelation of Hashem through our mitzvahs will then be fully manifest. Now, based on this, we can go back to the pasuk. So the pasuk says that when Pari sent out the people, so Pari is the same letters as Ha'oref, the back of the neck. So Pari represents where connecting to Hashem just from the back, where it wasn't really internalized or deserving, but just because. At a level of makif, darkness and light is all the same. But through our avodah of refining the sparks of holiness within the physical space, and elevating them, so we get out of Egypt and get beyond Egypt. Now, Hashem didn't want to take us through derech, eretz, Plishtim. The word Plishtim comes from the word mafulash, that it's just open, it just goes straight through, which implies a certain just freeness. Yeah, this way, that way, could do whatever. And so this is like a simcha of halilus, a simcha just of being silly. But instead, simcha has to come with effort and with work, from achieving something and from reaching somewhere. So instead of going through Plishtim, the land of Plishtim, which is just free-flowing, do whatever you want. Instead, Hashem made us turn and go through the desert and then Yam Suf. So this turning through the desert represents the bitterness that comes before Avodah, and feeling bad for how Hashem has been pulled down into this materialism, and then connecting to Hashem. And Yam Suf represents Yam, the sea is Chachma, and Suf is Saif, the end of all levels, is Malchus, which is Torah Sheba'al Peh, as we've discussed in the previous Maimer, and taking the accepting Hashem's yoke. And in Torah Sheba'al Peh it says clearly what the mitzvahs and how to do them, and that way that's our effort to elevate and to connect Hashem, reveal Hashem, and have simcha not in a sort of just a way of holos, in a way of just free flowing in a silly way, but in a way of real achievement and connection. And then we ultimately reach Canaan, which Canaan comes from the word hachna, subjugation, submission before Hashem, which is beyond Plishtim, which is sort of just the easy route.